let's take a moment and talk a bit about criticism, or as some people see it, negativity. I'm willing to bet that you've encountered this expression before. Oh, don't be so negative. Let people enjoy the things that they enjoy. Or, why do you have to be so negative? And criticize that. To some, criticism of any kind is seen as a negative. It's almost seen as an attack at the risk of something that they like, either consciously or unconsciously. It's a gut reaction to seeing somebody, as they perceive it, taking a crap on something that they, in some form or another, enjoy. And it's a reaction that I can understand, because fundamentally it comes from the exact same place that the criticism itself stems from the fact that you care enough about something that you will go out of your way to say that, well, to be fair, some people just go out and say, well, it sucks. But some people just try and say that, well, that thing, well, they could have done this, and this was better, and maybe that was not there, and this isn't as good as it could have been. Maybe it's because that thing isn't doing that, and that is that, and that thing there. You know, reviewing, critiquing, analyzing, discussing. That is seen by some as being negative. Even if the core reason why it's done is so that the end result can be improved upon, can be bettered, can be understood better by the creator or by the public. Or maybe it's just that person, the critic or the complainer, just venting their opinion about something. But there will always be the response of, why are you so negative? What's with all the negativity? Why can't you be positive and appreciate what you have? Well, several reasons. Criticism can be seen as negative, like an actual negative that just takes a dump all over the thing it's trying to critique, when it is simply mean-spirited. When it is made by somebody that is trying to gain attention by just being an outright asshole, which is a position that is completely undefendable, and good luck to you if you try to. Or it can also be downright negative when it's done by somebody that has real passion for something, and I mean super passion for something, and the product, in this case the game, elicited that reaction from them. Now in this case, the negativity is not entirely their fault, or how should I put this? It's not unwarranted. Fundamentally, people are responsible for their own actions, so don't take this as me saying that stupid things that people do to defend their fandoms, hate those, are in any way justifiable. No, I'm talking about like criticism, like some of the reviews that I've made. Like the Crysis 2 one, remember that one? Man, that game pissed me off. Because you just squandered. It squandered the potential of the previous games. All thrown out the window. Just blown in the wind. And my tone throughout that review was a bit negative. But that's because I saw what the first one could be. It elicited an emotion from me. It asked me to invest myself in it, in its world, and the way it worked, and the promise of the future it could bring. Then it left me out to dry. This kind of reaction is not uncommon, because fundamentally, in order to sell themselves, to become successful, to gain traction with people, games require you to invest a portion of yourself into them. And it's very important, they grant you ownership over part of them, the part that you interact in them with, if that makes sense. One of the greatest games, the most popular games ever, Magic the Gathering, is successful because of something like this, because it allows the player to have a sense of ownership over the game. And this is something that one of the designers of the game said, Mark Rosewater. He had a very, very lovely GDC talk about 2 or 3 years ago, where he expressed his 20 lessons learned in 20 years about designing the game. And this was one of them. Magic the Gathering, the decks, the cards that people used, became an extension of those players. It became part of them, of their identity. And that is how the game succeeded. That is not something that the players did and oh, that's on them. It's because they're, I don't know, what's the common derogatory? Basement dwelling neckbeards, I guess? No, that's what the game was designed to do. That's what the game was designed to be, because that is how the game became popular, became so entrenched in the hearts and minds of the people playing them that 20 years later, Magic the Gathering is still going strong. It's not stopped. It won't stop. It can't stop. And as a consequence, because of this, when Magic the Gathering occasionally gets it wrong and makes some crappy cards or crappy mechanics, the players will be upset. They will be negative. They'll have negative reactions. And the people that are making Magic the Gathering, they understand that that's not abnormal. That it's a response to a decision they made that maybe wasn't, at the very least, as best presented as possible. So they address it. But when it comes to video games, there's been a wave of anti-criticism lately, and not just games, but movies as well. To be fair, one of the reasons is because there are a bunch of professional crybabies that will say, oh, that thing sucks, it's because it has girls in it or something, I don't know. But it's been around since before that was a thing, especially with movies. You have movie studios that consider the idea of people being able to read a review and form their own opinion of a movie before they see it, before they spend money to go and see it, as being a bad thing. And video games are in the same boat, because they're implementing some of these same limitations with review embargoes, with limited access to reviews to just the people that they know are gonna give good reviews. We've seen this with Electronic Arts, we've seen this with Warner Bros, we've seen this with Konami, we've seen this recently with Bethesda as well, though they seem to have come around and decided, you know what? Maybe that was a dick move on our part, so maybe they will not be in the same boat for long. But that still leaves the defenders. I'd call them white knights, but I think that's a dog whistle or something for some people. And I think dog whistle itself became a dog whistle. If my accent is breaking during this video or the past videos of the last couple of weeks, it's because it's very, very hot in here. And I sometimes just slip into Moldavian for some reason. I'm not even from Moldavia, I'm at the border technically, so don't get me started on that. What I mean to say is that at a point, there are people that do not accept the existence, the possibility of their existing criticism of something that they enjoy, which is the same thing I said at the beginning. And they will sometimes go out of their way to paint any kind of criticism as being negative, even when it's not, even when it's done completely and honestly and heartfelt as a positive, but it does contain criticism, as in this thing not good, make better please, instead of just praise. And when that is seen as negative, it's going to be difficult for any actual kind of dialogue to take place, for any actual improvement to happen, because everything will be flooded in a back and forth of whether you're just being negative for the sake of being negative or you actually have some criticism that's valid. You get to the point where people that have criticism are just lumped in with the people that don't, people that are just there to crap on something that other people like. Anything that is critical becomes seen as a negative, because if it was actual criticism, it would be positive, right? Because the game's great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Why else would I be playing it if it wasn't perfect? Why would I love this if it wasn't absolutely perfect? I like this, therefore it is immaculate. And if you say something that even slightly differs from my interpretation of what this game is, what this product is, what this thing is, then you're just being a downer for no reason. Stop it. And the way we can fix this is simply by accepting that there may be flaws in the things we like. I like the movie Sucker Punch. Nobody else does, I do. I don't think it's perfect, it's got some flaws in it, like a lot of them. But I like the core idea of the movie that there is no redemption. There is no way to release yourself from your sins. You will rightfully be punished for what you've done in spite of all the good you try to do along the way. Are bits of it still crap? Sure. Tabula Rasa, one of my favorite games. I can spend hours shitting on it. And I say shitting on it because, well, that's what negative criticism is seen as being. But if we can all accept that things we like have flaws, apart from maybe Stardew Valley, then we can maybe get one step closer towards turning criticism not into a state of don't be so negative, let people enjoy the things they enjoy, Skyrim is perfect, but more into a dialogue, into a discussion, into something that will evolve the thing you like into something that you may like even more, even if you perceive that along the way the thing you like will be crapped on. But then again, some criticism is just complete crap, so do exert some discretion, because crap can be easily filtered out if the people actually try and filter it out instead of repeating it and retweeting it and re-beaming it and re-Facebooking it and re-blogging it and re-Tumblring it and re-everything. You get it. Have you ever noticed that happens quite a lot? It just goes from the eye to like directly to the fingertip. There's no intermediary where the brain goes. Wait a minute. This sounds a bit like bullshit. It's not called Megatown. And no, I probably won't let the follow thing go even 10 years later. Or 20. That being said, I really don't like what I did with the dialogue in Fallout 4. Really don't. But I've already said my grievances in a different video. So, the core idea. It's okay to be negative about a video game. It's okay to express your frustration with a video game. It's okay to be down on a video game. Because fundamentally, you wasted your time. You perceive that you wasted your precious few hours you have on this earth. Hopefully you have more, but you know what I mean. And it's your goddamn right to say you're pissed off. But if you can do it in a way that improves the final product somehow, try that. And to those that think that their game is absolutely perfect, try and understand somebody else's perspective. It's not that hard. Unless you're a total whack job, in which case, yeah, it can be a bit hard. Man, pleasing everybody is gonna be difficult. So don't even try it. Goodbye.